Superman is taking over the motherfucking storm, and I'm happy. I'm happy for you, Superman fans. I'm happy for you, Superman, DC. Y'all are doing your thing. Y'all are doing your thing. Yeah, good shit. I'm proud of you. A nice big pat on the back for you. Um, so full disclosure, I didn't watch Superman yet. As of recording this, I will be watching it tomorrow with a few friends of mine. And all I can really say is I'm excited. I have been spoiled. I've done it on purpose. I'm like, okay, I'm not, I can't wait. I asked pretty much everybody, how was it? Some people said, yo, it was great. Some people said it was meh. Some people said it was not for them. I heard at this point, movie came out early on Thursday. I've heard pretty much every review I needed to hear by the time Monday rolled around. So here we are, Tuesday, and yeah, it's about to be lit tomorrow, at least tomorrow. So yeah, man, for sure. Um I pretty much already I think I've already made a few videos on like what I wanted to see with Superman and things of that nature. And I'm not gonna make another prediction video. Like everybody's done seen it at this point. I mean, I could make a few predictions, see if I'm right or wrong. I just might anyway. But you know, I guess this video is really to I guess it's really to add to the Superman effect. You know what I mean? Like, not for nothing, but again, this shit just came out. I'm gonna take advantage of it. So, as the news is going right now, it's actually doing well in the box office. The opening weekend was fucking great. $217 million worldwide. Like, yo, that's a pretty hefty number for somebody like Superman. And you would think, well, I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen. And it's like, well, not in the fucking grand scheme of things that you would think. You know what I mean? But with all that said, right now, Big Blue's taking over. Big Blue's got the spot right now, and you know, I think even though the movie may not be 100% A1 fucking Godfather level of, you know what I'm saying, like cinema, I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's even going to be better than like, the Dark Knight trilogy, which is, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but it's like, all right, like but yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Um I would really more or less just add on to the fact that, you know, the word of mouth is going around, and like the marketing was like really much out there to the point to where everybody done seen it, so now they gonna go watch the movie just out of curiosity. And most of these people that done watch this movie on Thursday spread the word of mouth to Friday, and then so on and so forth. Now, once again, there's, as far as I'm seeing, there ain't no news of this shit dropping off. Like, on a Monday, first hours or some shit like that, it made like 50 million. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's domestically, by the way. We didn't. I'm not gonna say anything. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I had a feeling like this shit was going to make bank. Whether if it made a billion or not is another question. So, you know, I didn't really. I pretty much just said I think it's gonna do well. I don't think it's going to flop in the way that people think it was going to flop. Uh, I just think that it's either going to make $1 billion or it's not. That's the question at this point. Now, my genuine question is, how is the character? You know what I mean? Like, I was on a live stream with Viking and Cascadine the other night. Shout out to Viking and Cascadine. Go subscribe to them if you came across me and you're not from there already. But if you are, I fuck with you. Good shit. Keep supporting the bros. You know what's up. But I was talking to them the other day, and I was just pretty much like, yo, so how was Superman? How was David Superman? And it was more or less like they probably had like one gripe or one complaint, and then that was really it. And not for nothing, but if you ask me, that's good because these two guys, as far as I've known them, they've always been real. You know what I mean? Like they've always kept things 100. You feel like they just don't sugarcoat shit. And that's very much like me. I don't sugarcoat nothing with you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you nothing that you already don't know or don't need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just tell it to you straight. And most of their audience wasn't fucking with that. So we would, but on Sunday we was just discussing that. I'm gonna try to pull the link and put it in the description before I post this video, so you guys can go to that. You can go to that live stream and watch for yourself. I was pretty much fucking off the entire stream, but that's the point. I guess that's the point when you're doing things that you want to do, and But hey, back on point with Superman. I'm not saying that people telling me that this movie is good is making me go see the movie. I'm actually going to say the opposite. In fact, I'd like to say that the people that's said, "Hey, I didn't like this or this happened and this, that, and third, you whatever." I'm going to see it because it's like, all right, no, I gotta see this shit from my own point of view, from my own perspective, because I feel like some people just take away things wrong. You know what I mean? Or it's just a different perspective on it, or it's just not their preference. Like, believe it or not, and I feel like we have to talk about this. In perfect little segue, but I feel like a lot of fans like Superman when he's gritty, he's fight, like he's on his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not even just gritty. Like Superman on his bullshit. There's no other way of saying it, right? And I feel like the people who prefer that, they might not take to this film well because their Superman in their mind is starkly different than what James Gunn and DCU have cooked up over here. You know what I mean? So them seeing this and it's like, this is actually Superman. This is actually, how he is. You know what I mean? To them, it's like, but that's really not how he is, and that's not what he would do. And I mean, in maybe one or two cases, they'd be right. But when it comes down to it, it's really about preferences. You know what I'm saying? It's really about it's about preferences and perspectives, I guess. You know, like there is no one side or not. I mean, there is, but there's never that big of a stark difference with Batman and his no kill rule. Like everybody pretty much agrees. Like, and everybody can sit here and say, if you're the biggest no killing Batman rule or Batman not killing fan, you're the biggest fan of that, right? You don't want him to kill, but you a big fan of Burton, the fucking Nolan films. You know what I'm saying? Dude, there's no way you're going to ignore all the times he clapped niggas in there and just, you're going to hawk down on Ben Affleck and, you know, I'm not even going to say Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder did not write Batman versus Superman. It was David Goyer and Chris Terrio. So, like, and again, I shit on those two when it comes to this movie more than a baby shits in a diaper. And I'm telling you this right now, I'm not even going to lie to you, that little fucking criticism that they get for that shit it's unnecessary and also unacceptable. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're not gonna sit here and look niggas dead in their face and be like, "Oh, Ben Affleck's a bad Batman because he kills," but yet you're gonna praise Tim Burton's Batman because it's Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. Get the fuck out my face. I just had to put that out there real quick. But Superman's never had that type of fan. I mean, wow, Superman. Batman's never had that type of fan base where it was like, oh yes, make him kill. Oh no, do not make him kill. It's like if you do one or the other, if it doesn't matter. People are still gonna go watch the movie, watch the show, whatever the case may be. With Superman, it's always been somebody that saw him one way and then the new generation seeing him another. They want to see, what Homelander and Omni Man does to motherfuckers. They want to see Superman do shit like that. And one of the things they have to understand is that he doesn't necessarily do that unless it's like war, not all stakes are all bets are off. You know what I mean? Like, and the niggas he's fighting can take his punches. That's the only time you're gonna see Superman on his real bullshit. Other than that, I mean, main canon Superman, he's not necessarily that type of dude that that some fans like to think about him as. He's a Boy Scout. That's all it is. And he's a big fucking Boy Scout. You know, that's why James Gunn called him a big glue. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say those words anyway, but it's just like, yo, you know, he it's almost like he's big for nothing, but he's big for something. You know what I mean? But you know, in my town, you know, there's some dudes that are big as hell, but they the friendliest motherfuckers. They're kind of like John Coffey from the Green Mile. What was it? On Long Mile or the Green Mile? It was that book with the book. It was the movie with Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan. May God rest his soul. And you know, he was kind of big for nothing, right? That's what we would call big for nothing. And Superman essentially that if he wasn't a superhero. Let me break it down to you like that. But obviously he is big for something. Semantics, we're getting there. But yeah, man. I just feel like that this movie is well deserved either way, you know. Whether if James Gunn wrote it, whether if Pee Wee fucking Sherman wrote it, you know, whatever, because it's been 12 to 13 years since we had a good Superman movie. And, you know, another year longer is unacceptable. No, I'm sorry. No. And I'm glad that DC Studios and James Gunn were able to conjure up a Superman movie. That's how I feel. And you know, Batman could have easily started this off. Wonder Woman could have easily started this off, but you know, they said no because of the simple fact that Superman just needs that love right now. Wonder Woman does too, and that's why I feel like, you know, they had to announce her movie, you know, next, because it's like we already know about Batman. We already know that they're developing more or less. Like what's his name? Andy Muschietti, I believe, is still working at an angle on a script for Batman Brave and the Bold. And you know, it, like I said, that's already been announced. We're not gonna touch that yet because Matt Reeves still got the Batman over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and again, the the focus that Warner Brothers, and when I mean Warner Brothers, I mean David Zaslav, the focus they want to put on is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So it only makes sense that you're gonna get all three of their movies in the same chapter, which is Gods and Monsters. So, and we have taken off now. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, how I feel at this very present moment. I know I didn't see the film yet, but I still have a sense of feeling that DC's on the right track. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it now. DC is on the right track. We'll see how the HBO Max. Congratulations, guys! You guys are now HBO Max again. We'll see how the HBO Max DC shows do. Lanterns, Waller, if we're even getting that. Nobody asked for it, but you know. Creature Commandos was pretty decent, but you know, I don't think it took up the storm like motherfuckers did. It just really took over comic book social media. So, you know, I'm not saying it wasn't big, but it was just, you know, it did what it needed to do. That's it. Lanterns should be like Lanterns should be on like the Last of Us viewership numbers level type shit, uh, without a doubt. So the marketing for that has to be top tier A1. Like everybody named Mama's got to know about this shit. You know, I feel like if they hold back just even a little bit of marketing, it's not going to go. It's not going to go well. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I know it was a little bit of a ranting and rambling, but I missed you guys, and I'm not a fucking YouTuber. I mean, I got 34 fucking videos, but I'm not a fucking you. I'm just a fan and an aspiring writer. That's all I am, and a father. But yeah, man. I mean, I think, like I said, that's really where I'm at. What is it? I'm pretty excited to see Superman again. You know, David Corn Sweat Superman. You know, I've been seeing him for the past year and some change, just doing these things and seeing these behind the scenes shit. I want to see this shit in action now. That's where I'm at. Uh, there really isn't anything that I'm not excited for about the movie besides Ultraman. I hate that Ultraman shit. I'm sorry. No, that's horrible. And in Smallville, it's bad too. I'm sorry. I just feel like the Ultraman thing is a fucking cop out in my opinion. It really just is. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, yeah, it was used here, whatever, made by this motherfucker. But realistically, like, bro, it's not. It's this shit just pissed me off. We could have done so many other things, you know. Like it's already bad enough we brought in somebody else's villain into this movie. An example, the engineer, and that's the authority's villain. And if you don't know what the authority is, that's basically DC's answer to the boys. Look that shit up. Go ahead and read it yourself. You might not be into it. That's totally fucking fine. I'm not really, you know, it didn't really take to me that much. I wasn't rushing to run. Wow. I wasn't rushing to read issue two. You know what I mean? Like I read issue one, got over with that. I was like, okay, cool. That's nice. Moved on to something Batman. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's just me personally. You know, I liked Suicide Squad. I like the boys and shit, but it's like you're gonna try to give me something else that's like that, and it's like I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't. But that's just me. If y'all is excited for the authority and things of that nature, y'all are big fans of that. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you at all. Uh, yeah. And if this movie does well, I think we will be getting. I think we're getting a Superman sequel. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Superman 2 will happen. Now, if I'm wrong, if I am wrong, which I probably am, uh, World's Finest will pop up. We will get World's Finest. And for those who don't know what that means Batman and Superman. Anytime you hear World's Finest, that's who that is because they're not the dynamic duo that's Batman and Robin. World's Finest is Superman and Batman. And, because it's a shared universe and things of that nature, they're also best friends. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to give those two a movie. If you don't know, wow, I almost called him Dane. Bane and Deathstroke are also getting a movie. And from what I hear, it's live action. I don't know how true that is. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But if it is live action, I think we're in for a treat. I really think we are. But we shall see on that note. And in the animated project, we'll be getting Nightwing and Red Hood. So, and I mean, this is a bit of a stretch. And you can call me Reed Richards for a minute, but I think because we're getting not just these two, but because we're getting duo team up movies, there's no way we don't get Batman and Superman. There's no fucking way. You're gonna tell me they're not gonna get a fucking movie? And I mean, if they don't, my friend, you and I will be revisiting this fucking topic. We will sit over the fire with a nice cold glass of Irish whiskey, maybe a blunt, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we're gonna tackle this shit because who the fuck do these motherfuckers think they are? Just you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Nah. Oh shit. Look, I'ma stop because I'm gonna keep ranting, rambling, raving. Look, what do you think? To those of you who did watch it, how was the movie? How was the fucking movie? I would say spoil it, but just in case somebody comes across this video and is like, yo, wait, don't say anything, please. I didn't watch it. Just, don't do it in the comments, please. Just let me know how it was. What did you think? Did you like Superman? You know, how was Superman? I'm going to ask everybody this question. I don't care if I ask Metal Viking and Casket. I'm going to ask everybody this question. And it's not like, oh, how was Superman? What did you think of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you watch Superman, how was it for you? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you do make it this far, you listen to this, you tell me what that is. You know what I'm saying? How was he for you? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. Be completely honest, it's fine. I really like Superman, but I'm not gonna get butthurt about it. The same thing with Batman. I really like Batman, but if somebody go ahead and tell me, hey, I didn't really take the Arkham Knight, or hey, the Batman, it wasn't really, I couldn't get with it. There's no sense getting that. I don't fucking do that. It's just fiction. It's just comic book shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all love at the end of the day, baby. It's all love. That's all this is. So yeah, and I apologize for my little hiatus, man. I'm not gonna lie. Life hit me like a ton of fucking bricks. I had to crawl myself out of that shit like a goddamn wormhole. I don't even know what I was saying. I'm just happy to be back. Happy to do this shit. Happy to watch Batman Arkham Asylum while I'm recording this shit. I said Arkham Asylum. Oh man, can't y'all tell I'm so articulate? I mean, I try to be, but holy shit, you know. Anyways, hey man, yo, I missed you too. It was good to see you again, but I gotta run now. I'll tell you what, any support is appreciated. I'm not gonna beg you to do shit. I mean, look, uh, like I said, it is appreciated. It does help, but you do what you wish. If you can do something though, share this video with your friends. Share me with your friends. Don't be stingy. Don't be shy. And other than that, my funny friends, I'll see you in Gotham.